the Tristen Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristen Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. Well, Maxxine Dupri. She did something that nobody thought that she could do. She beat Becky Lynch. But sure, it was something that we never thought that could actually be real. When you see Maxxine standing tall over the Intercontinental Champion, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, you start asking yourself the question, is WWE quietly building their next underdog success story right underneath our noses? Today, we are going to be breaking down how we got here, why this matters, and how we'd fantasy book Maxxine Dupri's next 6 months as if we are sitting in the WWE gorilla area. But you know that I am not alone. I am here with not one. I am not here with two. No, I'm only here with two. I'm here with two women today. I'm here with WrestleLia, and I'm here with Jess Thee Yaptain, and we're going to break it down today. Jess, what's going on?
Hey, and welcome to our new favorite little co-host. I hope you enjoy. Y'all, I've been talking about Maxxine for like a couple of episodes now, and I am thoroughly proud of our little bird. I've been afraid. She not, you see her with Alpha Maid and you're like, she don't talk much. You're just like, who is she? Is she just, is she just a fly on the wall? Is she just another cheerleader for the WWE? But no. Somebody has been working in the performance center. Someone said, I can't keep going like this. I'm so excited.
Well, good. Very glad that you're here. WrestleLia, welcome. Thank you so much. For those of you guys who don't know, WrestleLia, she is a pro wrestling short form content creator. That is what she does. Check her out on TikTok. Check her out on Instagram, YouTube. You know what? Just type in WrestleLia and see what you find. WrestleLia, welcome to the show. Tell everybody who you are.
Thank you all for having me again. I'm super excited. I love pro wrestling. I came out the womb loving pro wrestling. I can't help it. I don't know anything else. But yes, I'm excited to be here to talk to Maxxine, Becky Lynch, and just women's wrestling. I'm excited.
See, I like her already, Trish. It's all right. This is the era of women wrestling. I done told y'all this is it.
All right. So for me personally, when I saw that Maxxine Dupri, when I saw that she beat Becky Lynch, it was not on my bingo 2025, but here we are. I think that non-title match where Maxxine, where she won via the count out because Becky was distracted doing the win, that's what happened. The online reaction was split. Some people thought, maybe she was a fluke. Some people thought, she was a star, rising star in the moment. But the larger story is, what does Becky's reign mean for the Women's Intercontinental Champion? Jess, what was your gut reaction to the upset, to the win, was it a legitimate moment or was it a fluke? What do you think?
For me, it was a legit moment. Why? Because I've been watching Maxxine Dupri ever since I personally got introduced to her for Royal Rumble. I could see, she ran out. I think she was like in one of the 20s or something like that, or like between 10 and 20. And she ran out and I was just like, oh, look. I was like, who is this little girl? Like, I do remember seeing her hanging with Alpha Maid, but I was like, well, who is she? And then, I could see that, she's not like the older, one of the older ones. You can see that she's young. This is her first time really being mainstreamed. And I could see the potential. Now, it wasn't all there, but I could see it. So, now we're trying to bring back a lot of the 2012s and 2013s, coming to find out that Natalya is her mentor. That's her big sister. Right? Yeah. So we're like, hey. I was like, okay, so we could see something. Right? Now, the first time I was like, ooh, okay, sis. Yeah, we're going to need you to, put some pep in your step. Right? So for her to come back and, kind of, I guess, bait her. Let's say that's what happened. She baited her and was like, you should be lucky your title match against AJ was not a title. Your match against AJ was not a title match because you would have lost. Ooh. So I loved it. I think this was a legit moment to show her that, okay, you want to F around and find out? I got you. I got something for you.
She wanted to FAFO, and she found out. Leah, jump in with your first impression. Did WWE mean to spark this much conversation? Because I was not making an episode out of her until Jess goes, I think this is a great idea. What do you think, Leah?
I think, so Maxxine alone, I think she's very entertaining in her own way. She might not be for everybody, but it's always nice, I feel like, to have a balance of the light and airy characters and then the real serious ones. And she definitely, for me, she is very light and airy. I've never disliked her, but she was also someone that I can't say that I was like super locked in on. So I do like this for her. I have gone to live events. I've gone to a Raw live in person. And when she came out, I think it was like the pre-show match, I was entertained. She didn't even step foot in the ring. And I was like, I like her. I don't think I dislike this one. She just has this natural, like, just for me, appeal. And I was like, okay, like, she was entertaining, just doing her thing outside of the ring with the Alpha Academy. And I was like, okay, but what are we going to do with her? Because I had already seen her before, like Jess said, Royal Rumble. We've seen her wrestle here and there, but I feel like she was also someone that got lost in translation because we didn't see her often. And so I think on top of, like, in general with WWE getting a lot of feedback lately, I feel like they're rolling the dice and they want to try to see how fans are going to react a little more. They want to, because, Netflix was like, y'all are average after that they got, and it was just like the IWC gives their opinion. They're getting a lot of opinions that are all leading to one thing, and it's, what is this? What kind of product are y'all putting out? So I don't think, I like this for Maxxine. I like her. I'm liking her more. I never disliked her, but now I'm liking her even more. So I'm excited to see what they do with her. I like this.
So for me personally, I'd not care whether Maxxine Dupri, whether she sank or swam. I just thought that she was the cheerleader for the Alpha Academy. I really don't care about anything that happens to the Alpha Academy. But this whole entire match here, the one that happened 2 weeks ago between Becky Lynch and what's her name? Maxxine Dupri. See, I don't even know the girl's name, the woman's name. Sorry. And I cared about her. I'm like, oh, look what WWE did there. Some people thought that they were making a fluke. Some people thought that it was the future. And I think, just based on what I've seen, that she might be the future. So the poll that I'm asking everybody right now, in the chat, that's the best part about watching the show live. Should Maxxine Dupri beat Becky Lynch this Monday night on Raw? That's what I want to know. It's simple. Yes, it's her moment. No, not yet. Only if it helps Becky Lynch. Answer. But here's the way I'm looking at the whole entire thing. You got to look at the whole entire thing back from the beginning, back from when it started, with her. I'm looking at, like, her career. When she started out in the WWE, nobody really cared about who she was. When you look at her, she just got lucky. She just got lucky in the whole entire thing. She came out as Maxxine Dupri in the Maximum Males. And then she became an Alpha Academy trainee. Like, who cares if she was the trainee for that? I didn't care. She came out in Maximum Males in the same exact environment as LA Knight. Yeah. And look where LA Knight went. LA Knight's now probably one of the biggest stars in the WWE. But what about Maxxine Dupri? Maxxine Dupri, she's been getting the short side. I guess she's been trying to find herself, find out where she belongs in the realm of pro wrestling. But she became Chad Gable's on-screen mentor buddy, adding legitimacy to her. Because if you don't know, Chad Gable's, he's a legit wrestler. Chad Gable's on-screen mentorship added legitimacy to her. She earned her TV time. It's not a call-up experiment. We're just going to bring her up here just to see if it works. But then people started pushing back. Maxxine started addressing the critics and wanting to prove that she's just more than a pretty face. Look, I just want to say this so the whole entire world could understand this right now. If this is what Chad Gable's training looks like, sign me up for the next open class. So why the hell not?
I mean, he is an Olympian. I'm not mad. I ain't mad at no Chad Gable training. That man is an Olympian. People forgot that. I was like, y'all do remember he is one of America's finest Olympians, right? And I didn't know she was trained under Chad. No, I did not. I thought that would be Ivy Niles, which I'm still trying to figure out. Babes, where you at, Ivy? I miss you, sis. I mean, a lot of people don't like you, but I saw you, sis. You are a great wrestler. So wherever you are, I need you back outside in the ring because, baby, I miss my little pit bull.
So let me ask Leah first. Leah, I want you to weigh in. Tell me what made her tick. Was it charisma? Was it the timing? Was it the underdog energy? Talk to us from your lens as a pro wrestling fan. Somebody who was, you said you've been watching pro wrestling since in the womb. I don't know. They got good cable in there. Tell us what you think.
I think it's some of everything. So when it comes to WWE and their timing, I don't even always trust their input, at least lately with that, because this episode is not about that. There's a lot of wrestlers that I can say, like, so what is good timing then? If it's not now, if it's not then, what is? So for me, I'm going to eliminate timing. She's there for a reason. They signed her for a reason. So they saw that her time was now, no pun intended. I think it was, I think there's also things that go on behind the scenes that we don't know about, because she seems like she's someone that's there for more reasons than what we might know, because some people could be like, oh, she can't wrestle, she's just pretty face, like you just said. So I think she has some things going on behind the scenes where, like, okay, we're going to give you, she's definitely advocating for herself, which I hope everyone does. So, and I think it's just that potential that she has, the people that she's trained with, Natty, Chad. I didn't even know that she trained with Chad until you said that. That mixed with what the fans want to see, and then I think they want to also roll the dice, because it's like, you're already getting lower ratings than ever. What do you have to lose? I think it's some of everything. And then the women's division alone, there's not many mid-carders out there. Like, I mean, I was one of the people I actually was thinking, like, where in the world is she at? Like, the pit, where the pit? Bring out the pit. So it's funny you say that. I think it's some of everything. I guess you can put timing in there. It's her charisma, it's the gimmick that she's portraying, it's the timing, and it's like, what do they have to lose?
A lot, because I don't want to see no Ivy Niles or nothing like that. But Fernando checks in the chat. What's going on, Fernando?
Oh, yo, that's my girl, man.
Fernando says that Maxxine just had a 1-2-3 kid moment. Let's go calm down with her pinning Becky for the IC championship. Oh, damn, Fernando. I can't just think for 1 second that maybe Maxxine Dupri could be headlining WrestleMania in the next 2 years.
Could be, man. Because, I mean, everybody's getting their own chances. You know, you got... let me make sure I say her name. Julia. There we go. Julia's here now. You know what I'm saying? She's holding the United States Championship. So why not have one of our new I guess we could call them freshmen, sophomores. Why not? Why not give them opportunity? Because, I mean, as much as I enjoy the man, Becky Lynch, as much as I know her track record and how she is one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, she too needs to take a page out of Charlotte Flair's book and step back for a second and let these newcomers shine a bit.
I think you messed up right there.
Honestly, let's just be the reason why that the ratings are low. And the ratings are low on SmackDown and Raw, but the ratings are high at NXT and TNA. And you want to know why?
Why?
It's because of it's this new generation. It's the new kids. They're performing. They're showing their butts. They're doing what they need to do so they could get on the roster. Like, we love our OGs, but it's really time for the era of killing the old gods. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for them. I mean, hey man, I'm a part of the old guard too. I don't want to see Roman Reigns go. I don't want to see Seth go. I don't want to see people that, you know, we grew up that was the main cards to step back a little bit. I don't want to see that, but maybe it's just time, like for Javon or.
I like Javon.
Who else? I love Javon. Jada Parker, Lash Legend. You know, all these girls. It's just, I just feel like it's time. It's just time for the women to advocate for themselves and show them why they were chosen in the first place.
So Maria checks in the chat. Welcome, Maria. Maria says that she doesn't think that Maxxine should beat Becky. That IC Women's Championship belongs to AJ Lee. And you guys, any of you ladies feel that way?
Oh, yes. But there's a story there. I was just talking on socials about that. Just talking on it. Said that, you know what, where AJ Lee at? Where is Nikki Bella? Where they at? They're sitting on the shelf. Why? Because they teased this whole Liv Morgan tobacco. So I feel like Liv Morgan is going to leave the Justice League. Child is going to leave the Judgment Day. They're going to just split off, and she's going to go solo again. You know, maybe for the Intercontinental. Boom. Get the Intercontinental. See AJ Lee. AJ Lee fights Nikki Bella for when because I mean, hey, if y'all don't remember, AJ kicked out Nikki's tooth. I feel like that's time for some get back.
Okay. Leah, what do you think? You think that belt belongs to AJ Lee, or should Maxxine get her fair chance?
You know, that's a tough one. Because Maxxine gimmick, just a lot of people are not going to take that serious, and so it's AJ Lee. Everybody, it's AJ Lee. I don't need to say more. Actually, I think I personally would not be upset if Maxxine got a chance, but that to me does come down to the timing. AJ literally just came back, like literally. So I think most people want to see her have it, and I'm actually one of them. So I would say, and then Maxxine maybe later after.
Let me ask you a question though, since we're talking about the characters.
Who are you asking a question?
Oh, I'm talking to our favorite girl here.
Okay, I'll just be quiet.
Yeah, put the man in the back. All the women come to the front for 1 second. So I got a question for you. So do you think it would be hypocritical for them to not accept Maxxine Dupri and her character, but we went with this whole Delulu crazy girlfriend thing with AJ Lee for 5 years? Don't you think that would be kind of hypocritical for them not to accept that?
Okay. That would be in a way, but AJ, so I never want to take away from these performers and athletes. So I'm not going to sit here and say Maxxine is a better or worse wrestler than AJ, because they're both two different people behind pro wrestling. They're people at the end of the day who want to do different things. So what I will say, most people will probably be more inclined to AJ Lee's wrestling in ring than Maxxine's. So when you have the pro wrestling and you add the gimmicks and the characters on top of that, I feel like most people are going to go towards AJ. So it won't really be hypocritical, because you're adding all the layers of in-ring ability, promo, appeal, aura, all of those factors. So it might not come across as hypocritical. But if I'm going to just look at it on the like just not get deep, it could definitely come across that way for sure.
So Fernando says that Jade should have had Chad train her. Maybe she'd be way ahead of her curve right now. Yo, behave yourself, Fernando.
No more, man.
You're gonna make Jess mad. Behave yourself. Maria says that Nikki Bella needs to stay at home. We don't need her. You know what? I'm gonna give her a hand clap for that.
Girl, if you didn't know, he is not a Bella. He's a Brie Bella twin.
I'm an anti-Bella fan. I'm an anti-Bella. Let me tell you something. I can't tell who and who's apart. Don't ask. The only reason I know that is Nikki Bella is because I had to look at the chat, because I have no clue who is who. I don't know left from right watching this whole entire thing. But when we're looking at Maxxine Dupri, WWE has invested. They have slow burn storyline in her. And it's rare in the women's division. You know how fans warmed up to her personality and passion, the social media training clips, the Alpha Academy humor. Like, yeah, Leah's right. Maybe she's a little bit too goofy for the television, but maybe she needs to do a drastic change like The Miz did. I'd never forget. And Jess, I know that you probably weren't even watching yet. I'm going to assume that Leah's even younger than you. Watch your mouths, because your favorite pro wrestling superstar dyes his beard as well. So the thing that I'm saying is that when The Miz came in with the change, The Miz was goofy. The Miz had the shorts, and he came out with the stupid little hat and the cut-off finger gloves. And then all of a sudden, one day, he came out as like the Canada guy, the Maple Leaf. And then he took off the mask, and I said, The Miz is in trunks. I saw The Miz as a serious character. So maybe what Maxxine Dupri needs to do is change her gear. Change the way that she looks inside the ring, and maybe we can just take her a little bit more seriously. But all right, let's talk about the moment that changed every single thing. I'm talking about the Becky Lynch match. You know, in the whole entire match, like I said, it was a non-title match, and it took place October 6th. Maxxine Dupri, she defeats Becky Lynch via countout. When you look at the whole entire thing, Becky dominates early. She was overconfident. She was outside the ring, and then Maxxine re-enters at 9.999 on the count. Maxxine was getting brakes beat off of her like an old truck. But here's my thing. It's been Becky's time for years. Maybe it's time someone gave her a reminder that every queen eventually gets destroyed. and dethroned.
And I just hope that she takes this lesson easier than our girl Charlotte Flair.
What do you mean? Because look, just like you said, that there is no hate for Jade Cargill. There's no hate here for Charlotte Flair. So go ahead, say what you got to say.
I love Charlotte Flair.
Now all of a sudden she loves Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, but I do remember the day she relinquished her belt to said Becky Lynch, and how that felt to be dethroned and no longer, like, you are no longer the quote unquote queen. So this is why, Charlotte Flair has now stepped back and she's more into herself, and now she does this tag team. But let's look at this now. It goes back to what I said. It slowly but surely you're bringing in the new people to kind of put the old folks in the back. Look at the injured list. Let's just start here. Let's start at the injured list. Everybody that's on this injured list is over 30.
Okay? Hey, watch your mouth. 30. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
For real. No, this is me. I want to protect you. I want y'all safe.
Oh, because we old? Because we're old?
No. Because AJ Styles is correct. I want y'all to be in your best selves so that when it is time for returns, later down the line, maybe in 2030 or whatever, and we want to do certain matches, we want y'all in the best shape. We want to see the best shape of AJ Styles or the best shape of Roman Reigns or the best shape of Seth Rollins. Why not? It's just, you got to give these new people a chance. So I will say just about, was this smart or too soon? No, I think this is the right time. I think this was smart because if you look at the ratings of that match when we first got Becky Lynch and she was all boasting her little title and everything, and where she goes, she went to the Alpha Academy. Thank y'all for correcting me on that because I mixed American Made and Alpha Academy together. Don't know why. Don't know why I did that, but I did. But I think this was smart booking for a slow burn storyline because who trained Becky Lynch? Also Natalya. Natalya was the dog when she came out, right? While she was out here looking like Lucky Charms, she was, Natalya was doing her thing. So I think this is great. I think push Maxxine so that way it would motivate her to be, if she loses, it'll motivate her to get stronger. She wins. We could build on this character. We can build up the no longer the ego holds the title. Now the baby face girl, the ditzy girl, the la 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 la, great, the nice girl. The nice girl will now finish first.
So let me ask,
quote unquote.
Let me ask Leah. Non-title match. Raw, October 6th. Maxxine defeats Becky via countout. Becky Lynch dominates early, overconfident, outside the ring. Maxxine re-enters at like 9.59999. Why do you think that whole entire thing worked in order for Maxxine to get the win that way?
I think in a way that is still protecting both of their characters because that does give, in a way, stand on that. That gives Legendary. They're not going to have Maxxine beat. Like, she's not going to tap out Becky. It's Becky Lynch. They build her to be this big popular character. They're not going to have her tap her out. At least not Maxxine. And that's not a dig at any of these women. I love seeing women do their thing. I love seeing people do their thing. You have a dream, you want to wrestle, go chase it.
Right.
So I'm not taking anybody by saying that, but I'm saying like just how both of their characters have been portrayed. They're not going to have. Maxxine is not going to tap out Becky. So I think it does protect both of their characters. And it makes Becky be even more heelish because it's like, I just jumped you. First of all, that segment was clean. When she jumped Maxxine, like beat her up and then her husband, and he was like, "You good?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Let's go." That was clean. But anyways.
All right. So I 100% agree with you. I feel that you're right. I think it protects Becky's character. Becky she took a loss. She took a mark in the L column, but you know, she didn't have to get pinned for it. You know, it gives Maxxine a win because a win is a win. You know, but everybody online, they reacted, and what they said online was that it was a shocking banger. Yeah, and I 100% agree. I didn't expect that kind of match. I was like, you know, Maxxine Dupri, she's gonna go out there and just go get beat again. But it was more than that. Twitter was split between. Twitter was split between protect the champ and the new star incoming. You know, the countdown as the storytelling, Becky loses focus, the arrogance costs her. I think this mirrors classic 90s mid-card upset. Like Fernando says before, you know, Razor Ramon, 1, 2, 3 Kid, John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. You know, the thing that I'm looking at is that WWE gave Maxxine the perfect test. A believable win that sparks debate. The crowd bought in. It wasn't dead silence, but genuine surprise. So, Leah, what's your read? Protect Becky or elevate Maxxine? You could only choose one. Gun to your head. Go.
Ooh, okay. So,
wow, I'm dead.
I might be done for. You know, that was quick. I'm gonna say elevate Maxxine, but the timing has to be there because Becky is Becky, isn't she? If I might be wrong, but because they keep adding titles to the picture, but wasn't she a Grand Slam champion already?
Right.
She's be protected, you know, and it's not because of who her husband is, but it's because of who she is and who they've helped build her to be. Mm-hmm. She's going to be protected. If she loses the title and she comes back, we're not going to be like, whoa, shocker. Like, but Maxxine, she's not a Grand Slam champ. I just think the timing has to be right to make it believable, but I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine.
So what does this actually mean for her future? Let's fantasy book this for a little bit. You know, but the question I want to ask everybody, whether you're watching live or on demand, make sure you put this in the comments. Would you rather see Maxxine beat Becky clean or build it up over the months? And if you're watching live, you get the benefit right now that all you got to do is just go into the poll. Go into the poll. So what does this actually mean for her future? Let's fantasy book this just for a little bit. Here's what I'm thinking. You know what? Hold on. I don't want to tell everybody what I'm thinking. I want to ask Aaliyah because she's the new one here.
Left us. He just left us a second. I was like, dang, we're in the atmosphere again.
Look, Leah, play devil's advocate. What if WWE waits until WrestleMania to make her win?
If they gonna wait, they need to build this up. That's my only. Don't be having me wait and just be like. So if they're not going to take this feud and this WWE, let me go back even further. WWE get back to their roots. I feel like a big part of the foundation of pro wrestling entertainment is storytelling. If you're going to build this feud and wait until April, I need you to tell a beautiful story behind it. Because if it's just going to be like, that's my title, I want it now, just book it for SmackDown or Raw, I don't care which brand, book it and let's get it over with. But if we're going to take this serious and have us locked in, focused, tell a beautiful, concrete, consistent WWE Lord, if y'all watching this, consistency, please. If y'all are going to build this, do it consistently and tell a story that makes sense. We're not going to make 1 + 1 = 3. Tell a story that makes sense. Y'all are paying these writers, let's use them. And so if we're going to do that, well, I can wait. But if we're not, just get it over with. That's my answer.
So, Jess,
I like you so much. I was like, finally, someone get it. It's all about the story.
It's all about the story.
No story. Oh, we'll just get Peter and chicken like we do with the men. We don't want that for the women. We want an actual story.
See, when I was training pro wrestlers, right, and one of the things that it took a while for me to learn, and I always said this, that you could teach anybody to do moves. Jess, I could teach you how to do moves. Leah, I could teach you how to do moves in the ring. But now it's like baking a cake. Anybody can bake a cake. Anybody could go into the kitchen, crack a few eggs, put some flour, throw a little bit of sugar. But you know, it's like, but is the cake going to taste great? So it's the story. It's what goes in behind baking the cake. You know, anybody can do moves. You have to learn how to string them together in a way that makes people emotionally invested. That's the only reason that Back to the Future is my favorite movie, because I cared about this whole entire thing. But looking at this whole entire, you like Back to the Future, girl? I didn't even know that.
I do.
40th anniversary coming.
I did. I know. I got a DVD, Blu-ray, and I got it on Prime. Just so, I've watched them.
And I'm going to go check it out in the movie theater on the 5th, the day before Stream-A-Mania. But let me tell you this. WWE's got a chance with Maxxine Dupri to create their next Cinderella story, as long as they don't let her lose the glass slipper while it's happening. Mm-hmm. So here's how I think this whole entire thing should go. I think that Becky should cut a fierce promo, right? Let the match happen. Cut a fierce promo. Oh, you didn't beat me. You escaped me. Maxxine leans in and then says, you know what? Prove it. No countouts this time. You know, you give him a rematch on Raw or PLE, you know, under no control, no DQ rules, anything like that. The outcome is Becky wins clean. Beat her clean this time. And after a great showing, Maxxine needs to get a great showing in the whole entire thing. Maxxine gets respect, and she does not get buried. Let's look into a phase 2 with this. In that phase 2, Maxxine goes through a proving ground arc. Let her get legitimate wins over Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Ivy Niles, you know, even Bailey. Anybody they can pull out of the background to come in and go in there. You know, maybe you know she gets some more training, give her some Rocky style vignettes, and then commentary pushes. You know what? She's earning her stripes. Now, what you do in the title opportunity, Becky continues defending. She's exhausted, and now she's arrogant again. Maxxine challenges at the PLE. Build it up. Can lightning strike twice? Give him a 15-minute classic. Nair falls, and the crowd behind Maxxine. That's how I think this whole entire thing should go.
Yeah, that's not bad for War Games.
You
That's
like that?
not bad.
You want this to all happen by War Games?
If not War Games, Royal Rumble.
Okay, I think Royal Rumble's a little bit nice. Okay, so how do we think that we keep Becky strong while elevating Maxxine then?
I guess the only way I can
Leah
think
could
about
jump in
is,
too.
if I could think about it, I guess give her another round for the what's that, Raw heavyweight, right?
Well, for the woman?
Yeah.
No, girl, the woman don't got no heavyweight champion. Don't you know? Never ask a woman her age. No, it's the women's world championship.
The world champion.
That's right. There are no
one.
heavyweights in the WWE. And even if there are heavyweights in the women division like Nia Jax, that girl get all the love that she can get.
Because I'm like, who would want to be a tag team partner with Becky? I mean, I asked that about Charlotte Flair for a second, but no, seriously, who would be tag team partners with Becky Lynch? Because I can't see it. I don't see anybody with that type of chemistry. So I'm just like, just to rebuttal off your idea, I like that idea, but guess what? I feel like now we're still talking about Nikki Bella and AJ Lee. This is a perfect time for their interference if they're not going to wait for Liv Morgan anymore. Because I'm still putting a lot of my hope and my money into a Liv Morgan storyline. So if they're, patiently not unpatient anymore, a perfect time will be interfering to next Monday to have a whole, maybe open a three-way for the Intercontinental or four-way, maybe.
Okay. So Fernando's is not behaving himself in the chat. He said that Nia is a heavyweight LOL. Look, it's all right. Look, I love me some Nia Jax. All right. So put some respect when you talk about my girl. So Leah, WrestleLia, how do you think that they can keep Becky strong while elevating Maxxine?
I feel like Becky's been doing really good heel work. She's been really good as a heel. I think one of the things that makes me be like, she is such a heel, is when she says, I'm not just saying it, Sports Illustrated is about being the best pro wrestler. So little things like that. I think if she continues to go and keep being the heel that she is, and I mean, like even her work with her husband, like they're just heels. I think that alone is going to protect her. And it's like, even if she loses, now she might be that much more turned up as a heel, and that alone protects their character. Wrestlers that have had titles have also lost them, and it doesn't always bury them, who they are. But that's how you become a multi-time champion, is by losing it. So her losing it is definitely not the end. She might come back for it and be even more fierce. So I think she'll be fine. I think she just keep doing her heel thing, and it'll protect her.
So I think that for the match, right? Because the three of us already talked about how to keep Maxxine, how to elevate Maxxine and keep Becky strong. So let's get to the finish of the match. Maybe Becky retains narrowly. I think it should be a narrow win. Maybe a little bit of respect or handshake. Maybe not a handshake. Maybe like a nod, like, all right, girl, I see you. And then they just go their own separate ways. But maybe Maxxine, she can get the flash pin. But no, the flash pin wouldn't win. Because if she got a flash pin, where like it was a 1, 2, 3 kid style pin, she'd have to go again, because now Becky could say that, no, you didn't really beat me. So I think that it needs to be something to where Becky narrowly wins, but But Maxxine squeaks out the clean win on her. But either route, I think, it cements Maxine's credibility without killing Becky's aura. This match itself, it tells a story of perseverance, but not like fluke luck. If you are booking this, I'm talking to everybody in the chat. If you are booking this, do you give Maxxine a short IC title reign, or do you slow burn her rise? You know what, Leah? What do you think?
You know, and you've mentioned this before on the show here. Change how she looks in the ring. So if they're going to give her a slow burn, you know, so the fan base is so like here and there. Like, yes, I like it. No, not even just the IWC, pro wrestling fans. Boy, we can switch up real quick about how we feel. So if they're going to do a slow burn, I think she should. I don't know if she should change her gimmick in terms of how serious she portrays herself or not. I think they should read the crowd and adjust that way. But if they're going to do a slow burn, I think that's fine. But they might have to make some adjustments. Like maybe she shouldn't do the worm. If that was something else that she can get over or something like that. Change the little things that make her character what it is. That way we can take the slow burn serious. But if they're going to do something, I think she would be fine with her current gimmick. Like, just keep it how it is, or not. Maybe you can do a slow burn with a goofy or light and airy gimmick. I think it just depends on how she portrays that.
I want to piggyback off of what you're saying. If we slow burn it, and if she does end up winning it, I feel like now we have an opportunity to have an open match for the IC. Think about it. Like, just roll with me. Right now we have Sammy over there at SmackDown right now doing the open challenge for the United States Championship. Why not do that for the women? Like, as soon as Maxxine wins it, eventually, like, let's say if she doesn't do the slow burn and she does win Monday, right? Because, you know, Becky is going to stand by her man no matter what. So I'm like, I don't know. We don't know how it does. But if she does relinquish that title, it is the perfect time to have an open match for the IC title. So we could truly see who is left on this roster. Maybe we can see AJ Lee fight for the title, or maybe we can see Nikki Bella or Ivy Niles or whoever they sitting there just collecting dust on the shelf, because it's a whole lot of more men injured on the list than women. So why not, give these women an opportunity? Or, call a few people over, like you're doing for the United States, call a few people over from NXT, give them an opportunity.
Okay. I think that if they don't give Maxxine a short run, the reason why I say don't give Maxxine a short run is because when I was growing up, when Leah was watching In the Womb on cable, and you, Jess, you were in, middle school, you said you were? When I was watching, the Intercontinental Championship meant everything. That meant that you were next. That meant that people like Stone Cold Steve Austin held that championship. Bret Hart held that championship, right? Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Triple H, the Rock, the People's Champion, Mark Henry, they all held that championship, and it meant something. So if you're going to give the belt to Maxxine, give it to her so that it means something, so that when you see her in a match, standing across the ring from Becky Lynch or anybody, Bianca Belair, who's already a champion, it makes sense. You say, you know what, I can see her here. But you know what, before we get this whole entire thing underway, we're going to look at why Becky Lynch holding the Women's Intercontinental Championship is even bigger. But here's the question that I want everybody to think about right now. Should there even be a mid-card championship like the Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship for women? Who wants to answer that first?
I mean,
know what? Hold on to that, because November 6th, we're doing something. I want to show everybody what it is.
Yes.
Thursday, November, the drive like never before. It's Stream-A-Mania. 5 hours, 5 blocks, 1 pro wrestling super stream. WWE, AEW, TNA, nothing's off limits. Hour 1, I'm kicking things off solo. Hour 2, Jess Thee Yaptain. She joins me to talk women in pro wrestling. Hour 3, a debate you don't want to miss. Hour 4, our main event feature. And Hour 5, I'm closing it down. After Dark, one-on-one with you. It's live, it's raw, and it may never happen again. Don't miss the first ever Stream-A-Mania, Thursday, November 6th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. in the UK. Live and only on YouTube. Stream-A-Mania is coming November 6th. Make sure that you're here 6 p.m. It's going to be 5 hours. And hour 5 is going to be set up just for you. I want everybody to get ready. Call the promo hotline. You can call the promo hotline right now. 973-826-0101. Be a part of the show. Complain about anything. Praise anything. Ask me a question. You want to know how we do podcasts? Ask me how we do podcasts. Even though we don't do podcasts anymore over here in the Tristen Law Show, this is a show. Ask me where I found WrestleLia. I could tell you. Ask me where I found Jess. I can tell you that as well, too. 973-826-0101. Hour 5 is just for you when we're looking at Stream-A-Mania. Can't wait to see you there. But today, we're talking about, did Becky Lynch just hand WWE a new star by accident? We're looking at Maxxine Dupri. Before we went into that video, I asked, the question was, should there even be a mid-card championship like the IC and United States Championship titles for women? You know what, Jess? You were getting ready to speak first, so go ahead, speak your piece, sis.
Oh, because there is no yes or no answer. The only answer is yes. The only answer is yes. Why not? Why not? It keeps it fun. We go back to the art of storytelling. You know what I'm saying? And usually the best stories have been with the IC and the United States Championship. Like, let's just think about it. Like when John Cena had his United States, when he had it, it felt good, and they got story after story after story. I remember, I believe that The Miz even fought him for that title once. That was my Miz era when he was doing the whole bandana and flying in and all of that. That was my Miz era. So, you know, it felt good to see who's up next. It may be the next main star on the card. Who's the next main star when somebody gets hurt, right? So I don't know what more else I can explain about it. It gives mid-card the opportunity to show their shine and say, hey, you know what? I deserve to be on the main roster, just like this person, that person, and this person. I love Charlotte, but come on now, 14 times, sis. Give these other girls an opportunity to show that they could be in the ring with somebody like Charlotte Flair or have that Charlotte Flair aura.
Well,
when they're around. So
I'm only saying this, Jess. If anybody's hating on Charlotte Flair in the WWE because Charlotte Flair is a decorated multi-world women's champion, then they need to get on her level, right? So Leah, I'm asking you, what do you think? Do you think that WWE should have or should not have intercontinental championships or U.S. championships for women? What do you think?
So I think that there's nothing wrong with them having it. Just have a division that. Well, let me rephrase. So I feel like one of the themes I've been feeling in a way is that the title is making the person versus the person is making the belt. Mm-hmm. Like Leah, for example, I have nothing against her. I like her work, but I feel like her character is not being translated well enough to a lot of the fan base, a lot of the viewers. And so now some people might not even remember, like, dang, who is the U.S. champion? Like, who? They might not even associate the belt with her. They might just be like, well, we know there's a belt, you know, like, versus Julia being Julia and having that belt is just like the icing. And now we're like, oh, like, we're rooting for Julia and her character, and she got the belt. Oh, it's serious now. So I feel like if they're going to implement these belts in the division, so that way it's not coming across as a joke, we need to focus more on building stories and translating the characters to the audience.
Yes.
That way we care more about the belt and not just being like, oh, it's just another belt. They're just tossing another.
We do not want another diva era. We don't want another diva belt era no more. We don't want that. We want some actual wrestling.
So Fernando checks in and he says that there should be more mid-card title opportunities given to the woman. Marie also talks about Maxxine and says that Maxxine should turn heel to be taken seriously, and Fernando agrees. We're talking about right now Maxxine, and we drifted off into should the IC and US titles be for women. Honestly, I think they should have one belt. There's just too many belts. There should only be one mid-card champion, right? Okay, fine. Let's do 2 mid-card champions. One stays on Raw, one stays on SmackDown. But the waters are so muddy when you're looking at Raw and SmackDown right now, you don't know who is who. It's just like, oh, hey, you're here today? Thanks so much for showing up. You got a match on Raw, even though people think that you're on SmackDown. So, damn, I'm joking. Okay, I'm back. I didn't die. So, I think that in the old ways, there should have been 2. There should have been the United States and the IC. You defend one on Raw, defend one on SmackDown, and then the world champion travels around. But now, what they do is now there's 2 champions, and they could show up either on Raw, they could show up on SmackDown of the mid card. So I think that WWE has a problem, and the problem is that they have too many belts. Do you know why I think that they? Why do you think they have so many belts? There's only one reason I can think they have so many belts. What do you guys think?
For me, it's just that, like I said, to give everybody an opportunity or chance, or to just make sure that we have enough faces. Because again, look at this injury list that's going on right now. That's almost a good 60% of the roster is hurt right now with some serious injuries. So you got to keep it going. You got to figure out something. It's all about storytelling, and you don't want a whole bunch of women going for one belt. That just defeats the point, because what if it's the same mid cards over and over and over again? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep seeing, if it was an example I could think of, I wouldn't want to see Becky and Alexis for 3 weeks. I don't want to see that.
I don't mind.
This is
if they're going to give me a good match.
There's with no story. That could get boring.
Right. I don't just want an exhibition.
On the men's side, y'all could do that. But on the women's side, we want more. They deserve more. We need story. We need action. We want development. We don't want to see y'all, as women, I don't want to see them, beat each other up like robot, like Chicken and Peter, like y'all do with
another Family Guy reference.
Sheamus and Rusev, Damian Priest and Drew. Right now we have Damian Priest and Aleister Black now. All
right. So I think the only reason that they do it is just for money. It's just another belt that they can sell. Oh my God, now the ladies have an Intercontinental Championship. Now I need to get one. But when I'm looking at the whole entire thing, though, I'm looking at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's still new. It's being built from scratch. Becky Lynch holding the belt, it adds instant legitimacy to the belt. I think, and I'm going to say this, I don't want anybody to be offended by what I'm going to say, but Becky Lynch, she is the John Cena of this belt, turning the mid-card title into a proving ground. Becky Lynch is doing for the Intercontinental Championship what The Rock did for Saturday Night Live. She made it matter just by showing up.
Okay. That's not a bad take. It's not a bad take.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, and I was like, give yourself a round of applause. That's not a bad take.
I think that every challenger should get elevated. Lyra, Tiffany, Maxxine, everybody just feels a little bit bigger because they're chasing Becky Lynch. It's not just a belt at this point, because obviously you're not going to put them in that world title picture. It matters because it keeps stars like Becky relevant without forcing them into world title rotation. It builds a layered women's division and main eventers, workhorses, and rising projects. The Intercontinental Championship, it becomes a storytelling device. Who is the next breakout? Maxxine's count-out win now sits as part of that legacy. The belt is supposed to build stars, and Maxxine, she might be the first one that is actually made. Because even though Lyra's cool, but I still think that she looks like an idiot out there flapping her hands like a bird.
Yeah, they call her the bird lady on my socials as well. And I was like, oh, I looked at Lyra. I was like, what in the Valkyrie is happening on the screen right now? I'm like, but I like her. And I like the development they're having with the story with the Crazy Bailey. I'm like, y'all, Crazy Bailey is back. You better watch out. I almost forgot about Bailey. I was like, dang, this would be an opportunity for, if Maxxine was to get it, build this thing with Bailey.
Do you ladies think that Becky's IC run is doing more for her legacy or the division itself, Leah? What do you think?
So I feel like I'm going to say both, because now Becky, because like you said, it's 1,000 titles. There's 1,000 titles in this division. So it's really like one of those things where now Becky is rebuilding herself as that Grand Slam champion, because technically, I guess she's not anymore. She hasn't had the tag team titles. Both. Has she had both?
No. She's never
I don't
had
even
the tag
think
team.
she's had it.
Yeah, she never had the tag team titles.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, that would be a story right there. I'm telling you.
So now she's rebuilding herself as the Grand Slam again, even though technically, if you ask me, it's like they're gonna keep adding titles. That means you should just never retire. Like, let them keep their Grand Slam status. So I think it's working in that department, and then it's also building the division, because it is again Becky Lynch, like you said. She can definitely be compared to one of the John Cena's of the women's division.
Absolutely.
And so that, like, Maxxine beating Becky made the win that much better, bigger, and more like, whoa, like surprising, because it's Becky Lynch. They build her to be this big star. And so I think just with both of those, like, it'll help. It's helping both Becky and the division, because now she can be like, well, I've had that belt, I've had this belt, y'all threw another belt, I had that too, so, and then it's Becky, so she's building that division, the belt in its prestige.
I personally think that this belt is definitely doing great for Becky's legacy. When they honor her in the Hall of Fame, when our children talk about Becky Lynch, when they're our age, it's gonna be like, oh, Becky Lynch is one of the greatest champions. Becky Lynch could be our version's female Ric Flair. That she went everywhere, she wrestled the belt, she gave the belt. Her book, I think her book is really well too, really really good as well too. So if you're looking for something to read, go look at Becky Lynch's book. But I think it's doing a lot more for the division itself, for herself, but it's also helping the division itself. It's giving them, or the women, a reason to matter a lot more outside of they got the world championship, we got the tag team championships. If you ask me, the tag team championships don't mean jack. But let's go ahead and land this plane right now. I'll give you
Wait, what would they, just before you land it, unify the tag team titles again? That's all I got to say about it.
You mean for the men?
Yes.
You know what? There's going to be a whole nother episode on championships, Jess, and maybe we could drop that next week when we come back. And Leah, if you are free, you're more than welcome to come back and join us as well too. But I'm going to give you the final take on Maxxine Dupri's rise and what it all means for WWE's future. But looking at the poll, I asked, should Maxxine Dupri beat Becky Lynch on Raw this Monday? 33% of people said yes, it's her moment. 67% said no. Becky needs to stay strong. Honestly, if you ask me, I think that no, she can't beat Becky, because even though that she's in her hometown of Sacramento this Monday night on Raw, on Netflix, for everybody, because I'll be watching on Netflix even though I'll be in the UK. Mind your business. But I feel beat her in her hometown, make every single person feel like, oh my God, well, she had the opportunity, she's going to win. If she wins in Sacramento, I'm going to be shocked like I stuck my 2 fingers inside the electrical socket. Never did that. But I'll be shocked. I want her to lose, and I want everybody to doubt Maxxine Dupri. And when Maxxine Dupri comes back, you're going to be like, oh, hey, girl, I didn't expect that she was going to win. So, Leah, what do you think? Should Maxxine Dupri beat Becky Lynch on Raw this Monday? Yes, it's her moment. No, Becky needs to stay strong as champ. No, not yet. Let's build to a PLE match, or only if it furthers Becky's story.
I think they should wait. Now, it'll be cute. It'll be like, oh, yay, Maxxine, if she wins at her hometown. But I think let's wait a little bit. I want to see what they do with Maxxine in the meantime, in that interim. I can wait like another couple weeks or 2 or a month or whatever. I really want them. The timing has to be right. Like, her hometown is not big enough of a basis for me to be like, give them the title, because people wrestle in their hometown all the time, belt or no belt. So, and there's people that have been on like a Raw, say the Raw is going to be in their hometown. They didn't even show up. So going to, or we're booked for the show, or I'm not going to use that as a reason for me to give her the title. I want to see more I need to see a bigger vision for me of what and how I can see her as the champion before they just give it to her.
Jess, quickly, what do you think? Should Maxxine Dupri beat Becky Lynch on Raw this Monday? Yes, it's her moment. No, Becky needs to stay strong as the champ. No, not yet. Built to a PLE match, or only if it furthers Becky's story.
I personally want her to win this, me personally. So it would just give her an opportunity to defend it so she could practice. It's like more of a practice. That way, when we do come to PLE, when we do come to the PLE, it will be we're going to see this whole Becky Lynch and Maxxine thing again. So if Becky loses to Maxxine and Maxxine, picks with her about it, use the whole, you tapped out AJ Lee thing, get into her head. We got a story. We got a story. So I feel like it would go ahead and give it to her if this helps Becky. This will help the Becky run.
All right, let's wrap the chat up real quick. Maria says that they created those titles just to sell replica belts online and at the events. Yeah, I think she's right. Maria says that the Divas era was trash. Trissy trash. Maria also says that WWE has too many titles right now. If everyone gets to be champion, then being champion doesn't feel special anymore. But let me tell you about the whole entire thing. Thank you so much for your comment, Maria. Let me tell you about the whole entire thing to wrap this thing up. A countdown win might not look much on paper, but for Maxxine Dupri, it's the start of something, and WWE gave her the ball, and she didn't drop it. Whether or not she wins the rematch, this is her proving ground. And if you're paying attention, Becky Lynch holding that Intercontinental Championship is doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's creating moments like this. Well, that's the show. I'm Tristen.
You get me every time.
She's Jess, and she's WrestleLia. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in the chat. If you're looking for WrestleLia, just type in WrestleLia wherever you can find videos. The next episode will be Monday. I'm Tristen. I'm Tristen Law. This is the Tristen Law Show, and see you next time.